it's rather important for you to know who to know and to know who to know. I'm telling you, it's going to save you a lot of headache. You'll be able to differentiate a headache from a helpmate. People who are assets versus liabilities. Today, let's talk about it. Yes or no. How to know your no. Join me. I'm mic'd up. You know what? Let's mix it up. What's good, good people? We are talking today about the power of knowing your no. And it really gets us to the particular place of, yes, building healthy boundaries, but really being very emphatic about letting our yes be our yes and our no be our no. That's what scripture says. Because without all of the other minutia and everything else in between, it gets a little confusing, right? It is about you saying what you mean, meaning what you say, putting your foot down, being very, very matter of fact about what it is that you're going to do, who it is that you're going to be, and the principles and the values of what it is that you're going to stand on, and you're going to take a stand regarding it. In order to do that, here's what we got to be. We got to be emotionally literate. Oftentimes people are emotionally illiterate. What did I mean by that? They do not know what they need. They do not know really what they want. And because they don't know what they need and they don't know what they want, somebody decides what they get. And generally is what they don't need and what it is that they don't want. But how do they know what they don't need and they don't know what they want if they don't know what they do want and if they don't know what they do need? Very imperative, very important for us to be able to classify and know what our boundaries are. Here's what I understand about boundaries. The prefix of the word boundaries is bound. And many of us are bound because we failed to create healthy boundaries in those areas of our lives. You know what those areas are. You know what it is that you seek to avoid. You know what it is that is not necessarily tried and true for you, but it continues to trip you up. Here's what boundaries are. Boundaries are limits. They are limits. Boundaries are limits that we set for ourselves. Why are we setting these limits for ourselves? We set limits for ourselves because we need to ensure that we are protecting our physical, our mental, our emotional, and our spiritual well-being. Understand this. Boundaries are not for control. We should not be creating boundaries to say, all right, I want to stick it to this particular person. I want to make them feel wrath. No, I am creating boundaries to protect myself. I am creating boundaries to protect who it is that I am. And you cannot expect anybody to adhere to your boundaries unless you first adhere to your own. Boundaries are not about building a wall. Boundaries are about constructing a bridge. Here's what I understand. Those who are on the bridge, who are the keepers of the bridge, they're always checking a car. They're always checking a license, an ID, a passport. You have to do a check of the people who you are going to allow into your life. A bridge says this: I have the capacity, I have the wherewithal to decide on who it is that I'm going to allow or who it is that I'm going to disallow in my life. Here it is, based upon their behavior. their behavior becomes a freeing or a limiting factor. Now, if I'm building a wall, here it is. I'm not allowing love to come in. I'm not allowing people to treat me right. I have created such a defense mechanism to where now I've created such an impenetrable wall, and I'm so suspicious of other people. And when I'm suspicious of other people, when you're suspicious of other people, now those people are going to be suspicious of you. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a bridge. Here it is. For me to allow you over the bridge into the course of my life, I have to be a fruit inspector. What kind of fruit are people bringing across my bridge? Yeah, there are certain embargoes. There's certain kind of fruit that should not be allowed over your bridge. All fruit is not good fruit. Some fruit is rotten fruit. And you will know a tree by the fruit that it bears. What kind of tree, what kind of fruit is being born based upon that particular tree? What is it? You have the capacity, you have the power to grant or deny access based upon someone's behavior. And here's what I understand: people call you mean when they can't manipulate you. You got to refuse to be Pinocchio. You have to refuse to allow people to pull your strings. Stop moonwalking and doing the electric slide away from your boundaries. Stop doing the Tamia hustle away from your boundaries. Here's what you got to do: you got to stand 10 toes down on what you say and mean it. Even if they call you mean. That's what it is. Getting to that particular place where you value yourself enough that you don't allow people's opinions to literally become your prison. Here's what you don't do: you don't allow what people say to you or what has been done to you to move you off center. Here's what it is: it moves you into a particular place of emotional regulation, emotional intelligence, relational intelligence, not their ignorance. For many of us, it's not emotional intelligence, it's emotional ignorance. Why? Because we're emotionally illiterate. It's not relational intelligence, it's relational ignorance. Simply because we have become relationally ignorant. We have to get to this particular place in life where we are willing to say no so that we can step into our yes. You know what? I realize this. It's difficult to say no when you were raised to say yes for the sake of harmony. It's real difficult. Too many times, here's what we do: because we were raised to say yes for the sake of harmony, too many times we go along just to get along because we don't have the courage to go alone. We go along because we don't have the courage to go alone. And here's what courage does: courage says, whether you're coming with me or not, I'm going to go alone. I'm going to go by myself. Why? Because I am enough. Most people are not willing to go alone. They would rather go along. Why? Because they don't realize that they are enough. They are enough where it is that they are. You're still enough, even though you're divorced. You're still enough, even though you've been misused and mishandled. You're still enough, even though you've been through some tough stuff. You're still enough. You have to ascertain that. You have to imbibe that. You have to envision that. That must become your clarion call and the reality of it. And here's what I understand: when you move into that particular place from that particular angle, you understand this: that forgiveness does not mean access. You can welcome an apology from somebody and still revoke their access. You can welcome an apology from somebody and still create social distance, still create distance from that particular individual. You can love that particular individual and still place limits on them. There's a fine line. fine balance between letting people go and allowing them to remain. It's not that you're mad. You've moved on. Fine balance of letting people go without letting them back in. Listen, you can let somebody go without letting them back into your space. Don't allow anybody to guilt trip you. Don't allow anybody to make you feel condemned. Don't allow anybody to make you feel less than. Here's what you do. Reject the invite to go on any guilt trips this year. Come on. They didn't feel like you responded quick enough. Reject the invite to go on any guilt trips this year. They didn't feel like you asked them how high when they told you to jump. Don't go on any guilt trips this year. You did not allow them to make more withdrawals than deposits. Don't feel bad about it. Don't go on any guilt trips this year. But create boundaries. Treat your boundaries like doors. Look through the peephole. Look through the peephole at people and decide who you're going to let in your life and who you're going to keep out of your life. That's what it gets down to. That's what it boils down to. And here's what I have for you. More in store on the flip side, on the other side of this break. Quicker than quick. I'm coming right back. Stick and stay. More is on the way. After these messages, I'll be right back. The 19th book is everywhere. I want you to go ahead and get your hands on my new book, Know Your No. It's all about how to build healthy boundaries and love without losing yourself. Boundaries are not limitations. Boundaries are for liberation. You're going to find a way to unbox yourself. You're going to find a way to really love yourself and to move into a place of emotional regulation, to stand your ground, to draw a line in the sand, stand 10 toes down on it. Don't do the electric slide. Don't moonwalk away from it, but really stand wholeheartedly down on what it is that you say. It's for your protection. It's for your self-care. Moves you into a greater place of self-awareness and emotional regulation and developing your mental health and creating boundaries so that you can abound to a new and a greater level. Go right now to get a signed copy at EddieConnor.com. EddieConnor.com. And then, of course, you can also get it on Amazon. Go and get the book right now. Yes, y'all. We don't stop. Yeah, that's what it's about. Know your no. Talking about it. But do you have it? Come on, add me to your library. Add me to your library. Know your no. Number 1 on Amazon. Why? Because it's such a great book. How to Build Healthy Boundaries and Love Without Losing Yourself. I'm telling you, when you get the book, you better buckle up your seatbelt. You're gonna go to war with my words. You're gonna wrestle with these words I'm giving you. You're gonna be challenged. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna shift the paradigm of your thinking. You are going to be empowered to build healthy boundaries and love without losing yourself. I'm telling you, go and get the book right now. It's available on Amazon as well as EddieConnor.com/know your no. And that's what we're talking about. Let your yes be yes, let your no be no. Yes or no? How to know your no. Got to know who to know. Got to know who to know. And here's what it is. We've been saying yes too many times to other people that we've been telling ourselves no, when we ought to be telling people no and telling ourselves yes. And you don't get to that particular yes internally until you're able to communicate a no externally. Does this fit into my emotional budget? Am I wasting time, energy, money, resources, trying to prove other things to people that really don't like me in the first place? What am I doing? Where am I at in my particular life? Who am I surrounding myself with? What is in my emotional savings account? Am I making everybody's emergency mine? Here's what it boils down to. What are my triggers? What are my traumas? Am I unselfishly allowing people, hear me, unlimited access to my time, my energy, my resources, which are in effect consequently hindering my progress? And here's what you have to do. You have to free yourself from energy vampires. You have to free yourself from people who are soaking and sinking and stinking thinking. You have to free yourself from those who drain your bandwidth and make more withdrawals than deposits. Got to say no to being mentally, emotionally, relationally, and spiritually bankrupt. Here's what you have to say yes to. Say yes to building healthy boundaries. Say yes to developing emotional safeguards for ultimate success. Hear me. Stop fearing what other people are going to say. Well, what will they say if I create healthy boundaries? Will they be mad? Will they exile me? Will they push me to the side? Will they be combative in their attitude? And here's what I understand. They just might be. But it's worth you showing that you appreciate you and that you love you and that you support you by creating healthy boundaries that will enhance you. Listen, it's not personal. It's just business. I am in the business of self-preservation. I'm in the business of loving myself and knowing my worth and developing my mental health and creating spaces and places and opportunities so that now I can actually exercise intentional self-care. So I can mind my mind. So that I can create room for the right people to love me. And sometimes addition comes by subtraction. Sometimes multiplication comes by division. What they thought was going to be a liability became an asset. That is the power of knowing your no. That is the power of saying yes or no. And here's what I understand. No does not require a comma. No does not require an explanation. No requires that you stand firm on what it is that you say. It's no period. It's no exclamation point. It's no without you having to show why you're saying no. Your no is good enough. Why is your no good enough? Because you are enough. That's what it is. That's where it is. That's how you say yes to yourself. That's how you say no to grow. It's either yes or no. You have to know you know. You have to know who to know. All of that will either stifle, stymie, stagnate, or exponentially increase you to grow. If you don't have my book, Know Your No, I want you to go get that now. How to Build Healthy Boundaries and Love Without Losing Yourself. It went number 1 on Amazon for a particular reason. And I guarantee you're going to be empowered by every chapter, all 15 chapters in this book. Every page, every chapter, every word, every line is mine. And I'm guaranteeing you, you're going to be empowered to thrive. Real talk conversation. The real missing integer to relational growth and development is the discussion that we've avoided on boundaries. Now's the time to take the fear off the table. Stop skirting around the issue and address it head on. This is that book that does it for you. I want you to go ahead and get it right now. It's available on Amazon and it is available on my website to get signed copies, EddieConnor.com. EddieConnorJr.com/know your no. You got an amazing class that I want you to be a part of, amazing session, amazing academy, amazing community that is all about empowering you to grow in your business, in your blueprint, in your boundaries. It's our Eagles Academy. We want to empower you and show you how to level up in every area of your life as you soar into greater success and purpose. You owe it to you to invest in yourself and be a part of my coaching, my teaching, my training, my empowering, my master classes that are going to cause you to be a mastermind and really cause you to multiply in every specific aspect and arena of your life. Go right now to theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com. Register. When you get there, tap the join now button, fill out the form. I guarantee you're going to be transformed. I hope this was a transformative conversation for you. Really do. Because this is how we level up. This is how we grow. And we grow by having uncomfortable conversations. Got to get comfortable being uncomfortable and become uncomfortable with being comfortable. Yeah, hopefully I shook you up today. And we're going to continue on day after day. It's yours truly, Dr. Eddie. Your main man, 100 grand. Your brother. And I mean that from another mother. Family has been fun, but you know, brother got to run. So I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy. Yes, it has been beyond measure. But I want you, yes, you, I'm talking to you now, to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter, peace, and a whole lot of love. Keep soaring higher. 19th book is everywhere. I want you to go ahead and get your hands on my new book, Know Your No. It's all about how to build healthy boundaries and love without losing yourself. Boundaries are not limitations. Boundaries are for liberation. You're going to find a way to unbox yourself. You're going to find a way to really love yourself and to move into a place of emotional regulation, to stand your ground, to draw a line in the sand, stand 10 toes down on it. Don't do the electric slide. Don't moonwalk away from it, but really stand wholeheartedly down on what it is that you say. It's for your protection. It's for your self-care. Moves you into a greater place of self-awareness and emotional regulation and developing your mental health and creating boundaries so that you can abound to a new and a greater level. Go right now to get a signed copy at EddieConnor.com. EddieConnor.com. And then, of course, you can also get it on Amazon. Go and get the book right now.